Some of the original Nashville studio players are still there. Over the past 30 years, they've played with every name in country music. Buddy Emmons' reputation as a steel guitar player is second to none.
I can't relate to the harmonic bass theory and all that because my idea of improvisation is this little collection of cliches that I've put in the back of my memory from all of my years of listening. Because that's the way I learned to play this instrument, was buying all the records from Nashville, Tennessee, and trying to learn all the solos that were on various Hank Williams records and whatever record steel guitar were on. That was my learning process. And those records were all based on improvisation. In the early days, when I got here in 1955, this whole town was built on improvisation because there was no sheet music, no number system, nothing to rely on but your memory. You'd listen to a song in the studio before you cut it, and then you'd memorize the whole set of chords.
For many musicians, the recording studio is their workshop. They rarely play anywhere else. And in the Nashville studios, every producer expects his musicians to be able to improvise.
Well, particularly here in Nashville, the process of making records is really dependent on improvisation. The song is determined, and the chords for the song are determined, and not a whole lot more is actually structured than the key, what tune we're going to perform, and what those chord changes are going to be. And we start from there with some basic idea of the tempo and the kind of feel we want for it. But everybody really starts to find their own place in the making of that song really quickly. And there's certainly a certain standard sort of beginning approach to how to do that, but it starts deviating really quickly. And each musician's ability to improvise is probably the most important factor in picking who's going to perform, who's going to play. Their creativity with their instrument, not being relied on to be told exactly what to play, but having a real good sense of musicianship. It's real important.
In country music, the session players usually accompany the singer. It's the vocalist, the star, who sells the records. But the improvisations are on the backing tracks.
Stop this now.
You want to play it through one time?
The tail that wags the dog.
You want to play it through once?
At least it's a start, I guess.
Yeah, that's a way to start. Let's hear it. An F.
Oh, you
Did you bring your cape?
He likes F. F. He was serious as he could be.
He was serious.
I like F. F is fine.
F?
Play an F.
Well, let's hear this thing. I'd like to hear it.
Play an F. 1, 2, 3.
There's an awful lot of experience that's called upon, but it certainly requires having to make up what it is that's going to be performed from the downbeat. I can give some direction about the feel of the tune and how we want to proceed, but from the time they count the song off,
1, 2, 3.
it really is a combination of invention and experience. pretty convinced that most of what I come up with on my own is relatively boring. So I give them an awful lot of freedom almost right away, and then have to make judgments about whether it's actually better than what I was thinking, worse than what I was thinking, or gee, this is a whole nother area that I have to just think about.
I think in a way in Nashville it seems pretty unrestricted because we don't really read music as we play our solos. So in a way, I think you're always given the first crack to try to come up with your own solo. So that is an improvisation in itself that I think a lot of other musics don't get. You'd have a different explanation of what improvisation really is, but to me, when you're really succeeding, you're almost writing a small melody as you go. You have a melodic sense, and you can connect it all in. True improvisation is supposed to be free form, and you don't know where it's going. But as you make up a part that relates to country music, as you get to do your solo, you are improvising a certain amount since it's not set in stone. The chords are set, and the number of bars are set in the changes, but you pretty much get a free rein.
1, 2, 3.
Five of Nashville's top session men take it in turns to parade their inventions.